In this nomenclature question, as always, we need to start by identifying the parent chain. Now, we do have a fairly long carbon chain coming off, but if we count over here, we find that we have a 7 carbon chain. Our ring, however, is longer than that. Our ring contains 8 carbons. And so, therefore, the ring is going to be the parent. So this is a cyclooctane. Next, we need to figure out how to number this compound. And as we recall with a ring, we can start at any carbon that has a substituent on it, because that will give that substituent carbon number 1. From there, we need to go to the carbon that has the next substituent. But in this compound, we have one carbon, being right here, that has 2 substituents. And so if we call that our first carbon, then that means our first substituent is at 1, and our second substituent is also at carbon number 1. If we choose any other position to start, we get a higher number for our second substituent. The next question becomes, which direction do we go? And so if we go clockwise, we'll end up with a substituents at 1, 3, 5, and 7. If we go counterclockwise, our substituents also end at 1, 3, 5, and 7. And we can see that by putting some numbers in here. And if we switch to another color, we can see that going the other direction gives us substituents at the exact same positions. So what do we choose? Well, in order to break our tie, we have to choose the direction that wins out alphabetically. And so if we go, I'm going to delete all the green numbers now. If we go clockwise, so before we even move around the ring, our first 2 substituents, regardless of which direction we go, are the methyls. So we can disregard those for trying to figure this out. But we do have a 1,1 dimethyl. If we go clockwise, then at carbon 3 we have a 7 carbon chain, which is heptyl. If we go counterclockwise, carbon 3 is a methyl. Now, since heptyl comes alphabetically before methyl, the red numbers that we have drawn in get priority, and that's the correct way to number it. So we have 3 heptyl. At carbon 5, we have an isopropyl. And at carbon 7, we have another methyl. So in order to finish our name here, all we need to do is alphabetize these. So heptyl will come first. 3 heptyl. Now, remember with isopropyl, iso is not a numerical prefix, so that gets alphabetized under I. 5 isopropyl. And then the 3 methyls get combined for 1,1,7 trimethyl. So we have our full name for this compound: 3 heptyl, 5 isopropyl, 1,1,7 trimethyl cyclooctane.